Hey, hello, this is Zachary from Z3DP Prints on YouTube. For the change, non-fam, I have missed you for a so long time on YouTube. Oh my gosh. Hi, hello. If you're new here, consider subscribing. Subscribing, not following, subscribing. I was like, Gary Putman, how are you, man? How are you doing, sir? I I am so used used to being live on Twitch that it feels weird to be on YouTube. How did that happen? How did that happen, guys? Loyal, did you do this? No. People on Loyal said that the engagement on community-wise on Twitch is more engaging, more interacting. I never had that idea when I was on YouTube, but it's fun, right? Hey, 3D printing professor, howdy. How are you doing, sir? Welcome to have you here. So it's been a while. It's been a while. I never. I was in this. I don't want to say Twilight thing, but more like I want to stream on Twitch, but I also want to stream on YouTube for the change, because why not? No, but it's awesome. It's nice. It's fun. 3D RCNC. This time, it's it's on YouTube side, man. No black screen. No other colors that I used to see when I was streaming on Twitch. But maybe if this stream isn't so long, maybe I will jump over to Twitch. I don't know. I could have also choose to go and on YouTube and on Twitch, but then who would want that? This is StreamYards, and yes, I can do that. But then, are people willing to go and watch it on Twitch, or want to go to the YouTube side? I don't know. I don't know. It's all possible. It's all possible in this digital era. It's all possible. So yeah, I think 3D RCNC and non-fam know that I have done that in the past. I think somewhere in June, July, somewhere like that. I was streaming and on YouTube and on Twitch, and people were a little bit confused. I also agree. Don't Twitch. No, I mean, I think StreamYards is a nice platform to do also live streams with, but you can interact. You can invite people into the chat and have a video, audio conversation with. So this is more open than the others, right? So um, it's been a while, and it's fun. It's fun. I never thought that I would say it, but after so many hours behind the camera, making recordings, I think 3D printing professor, you can agree with it. You know, first time that you are going behind the camera, you're like, am I sure that I'm going to do this? And then years later, you're making videos, you are making live streams, you're doing live streams, you're going to areas. I do need to say that I said that I think last week on Twitch that I was at the Dutch Design Weeks. It was fun. I wanted to do live stream there, but my chat didn't load, and I was sitting here behind my desk doing a live stream is very used. But then being in the open air, where hundreds of people seeing me with a camera, some dude making a live stream. I was like this. I was like this. I was like this. This thing. I was holding it. I have an iPhone X uh, 10s Max, and it's big, so it wobbles. And I was like, the chat is still loading. The chat is still loading. Why is the chat not, you know, what I used to see? And I was the whole time focused on my screen, and it was a live stream of 7 minutes, 7 long minutes. Uh, just going through the chat. Uh, hey, Death Cube 2006. Are you from 2006? Ditching the BL Touch in favor of the TL bundle for $16. What are your thoughts about the dis advantages and disadvantages? Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I'm very familiar with the BL Touch, but you know the Ender 6. Which printer do you have? But in the meantime, I'm going through the chat. There's a platform where you can stream as and yeah. Uh, did you be a touch? Twitch doesn't smile on that though. Breaks their TOS if you stream to them and other platform. Yeah, but I think in general, my personal opinion, uh, you can stream to both platforms, but uh, I don't want to do that myself. I did it one time. It was fun, but in the end, I would like to stream or to YouTube or to Twitch, but not both. Um, you don't do the Twitch? That's fine. That's fine. Uh, I'm I have I have had Twitch for over a year, but just in the last month I was really pushing it, and now it's monetized. You can you can get it monetized way faster than on YouTube, but then yeah, I wish I did, but I'm not one of the cool kids. Hey, but you're a 3D printing professor, you know. This is also just a part-time thing for me. Yeah, YouTube and now also Twitch. It's for me also something that I do next to my normal full-time job. But actually, I have my own company in 3D printing, but I'm still building it up. And once I know which kind of direction I want to go, not that I don't know, but still I need to learn the basic things of having a company, doing business, you know. Um, so yeah, it's in the planning. It's in the planning. Um, yeah, but Twitch might not like it's now your partner, whatever it's called. Oh, Oh, so once you are monetized on Twitch, I cannot stream on YouTube. No, I can, but not sharing the same content. You mean, right? Correct. Twitch only cares if you are affiliate. Monitor. Yeah. Hey, Maker Viking, how are you doing, sir? Long time. It's a Friday evening. I'm streaming on YouTube for the change. And a three. Was the BL touch that bad? Because I don't know which kind of build plate you are using to print on. But if you are changing, and that's also what I said in one of my videos, when choosing a bed probe, you can use the BL Touch, and that's a very nice ABL system. The great advantage is when you are changing from something like this, what you standard get on your Ender 3, not this size but bigger, and you are going to change for a spring steel sheet, or you're buying a different kind of spring steel sheet. Those have different kind of layers, but since it is on your build plates, it's going to probe it anyways, and you will get a better result. But if you for some reason want to switch over from the PEI to glass, you just clip it on, you do the ABL, and you can print. That's a very big advantage of it. Disadvantage of the BL Touch, the plastic probe, or the little stick thing, the little probe, can break. Yeah, this the only thing. Um, and sometimes I've noticed that on the firmware side that it doesn't always go as smooth as it should be. So I have now one, two, one, two, three times a BL Touch installed. Fourth one is going to be installed on the CR2 and a B, and also on the G Tech, and maybe on some other printers that are i i3 stylish printers are something like that. It's making no sense at all. uh yeah, the other one, the I okay, if I say pin the probe, you know exactly which kind of probe I mean. The inductive sensor. They they're if you have a metal sheet, then I think it's no problem at all. It will work fine. But if you are using something like a glass plate, can give some problems. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, you can stream on YouTube. It won't break their TOS as long as you do it separately, simultaneously. Hmm. Fine, no problem here. And I can focus only on one side. That's a great thing, right? Mm. I know a lot of people who try to say leveling by hand is the best way. Auto leveling, who wants it? I want it. I want it on all my print. And the thing is, it's very accurate. And the thing is, if it isn't trammed, huh? If it is not totally flat, level, whatever you want to call it, it's going to to make sure that your first layers and after is going to be printed very nicely. So that is a good thing about it. I also love my Wi-Fi delivery. Screw that SD shuffle. Oh yeah, really. Uh, this is from a camera, so I'm not going to count it. No, just for the fun. No, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. Hey, old grudge. Greetings, program. Um, time to go. How are you doing, sir? Welcome to the live stream on YouTube. I'm so used to say Twitch. I really have to remind myself I'm on YouTube. I used to hate SD until recently when I was doing production. It it was simpler to load the next print from SD while removing the previous print. Yeah, true. Um, Also, when you have several 3D printers with the same type of, you know, it has an ABL, it has a certain dimension, you know, I can put my SD card from the any cubic fiber to the artillery sidewinder without any problem, you know. Both have ABL, both have a specific volume, and there cannot go much wrong with that, you know. Um, I did those changes quite a lot. If it wasn't working on one printer, I took the SD card, put it somewhere else in, and then hit print and see what came out. And sometimes amazing prints. Mm, the professor dropped in. Cool. Yeah. He's funny that his video dropped the same day my Congo Z1 arrived. Congo. Um, yeah, talking about grow, that thing I want to use. I want to start using it. But the problem is I have a MacBook. I don't know which kind of program to use, actually. Did I had some time to figure it out? No, also not. It's busy days. Busy days. Oh, yeah, he is cool. He's cool. Always nice to see similar faces in chat. Yeah, yeah, 13 people. 13. I have to figure out if I can do an unbox, etc. Unbox Edge stream this weekend or not. Dan! DB3D Dan! Welcome to the live stream on YouTube for the change. Uh, I mean, on Twitch, I get also a lot of chat, but like yesterday, I don't know how many people actually were there. I think 8, 9 unique viewers. But in the meantime, I was making a uh, awesome, awesome paint job on this little thing, which actually turned out pretty nice. Still need to still need to do certain things. But it looks decent, smashing. Hey, Michael Kessel, welcome to the live stream. Nice to see you, man. Maybe the Windows emulator for laser and stuff. Because Poetsdag, Poetsday. If you say Poetsday for us, it means translated. I don't know if you mean that, but it would mean something like cleaning day. Bruce Willis, yeah. When I'm printing in the background, well, something very epic. If you don't follow me yet, I'm also live streaming on Twitch, twitch.tv/Zachary 3D prints. But I am currently printing parts for something that belongs to this. So, wait. Looks like it's only at the beginning. Hmm. Yeah. This is the bottom part of the Star Destroyer. Um, yeah. The thing is, I'm uh, so used to use multiple camera angles, but basically here there is also more pieces coming to it. Um, I'm not going to put it together because I leave that exclusively for Twitch. Dang it! Dang it! This is going to be huge. Huh? Huh? Yeah, because I have the dowels, I can use them, but it would mean that um, if they snap and I don't, I can get them off. I don't have anything, but okay, we will see what happens, right? So something like that. I don't want to put too much in. Yep. Uh, yeah, I noticed that for some, I always try to take as much as brim off in order to get it fitted right. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this here because I want to show how actually how big it is. Because officially, this is going to be 49 centimeters long. So it's not a small Star Destroyer that you can download from Thingiverse or My Mini Factory. I bought this on Gambody. It's a STL file of $80. So I'm also not going to give it away. It's for personal use only. So merge the two pieces together. The dowels are printed 100% infill in rectangular shape. I'm going to put them in just to show. Do need to say that I also printing um, reserved parts. Once if one printer fails, I can still continue with the other print because I had a awful lift. Wasn't looking that great. I showed yesterday in a live stream on Twitch. Oh, that wasn't looking. That wasn't looking nice. It was ugly. So all the dowels are in like that. I also had some adhesion problems on one of the printers. So where is the knife? Okay. So the whole ship is going to be painted. So yeah. Um, so I'm going to put the dowels in the middle. I'm printing new ones, so So this is going about the idea how it will look like. More dowels are going to be needed, of course. Um, I hope everything aligns nicely. Yeah, need to be careful. So I need to take something off because one thing that I don't want is that it is going to break, because that would be terrible. Just going through the chat in the meantime. Um, so, so to answer this question, will be a good print when finished? Oh, indeed, it's 94 centimeters by no 56 times 31 centimeter. So it's going to be pretty large, pretty large. Um, uh, so where did I get it? From gambody.com. I bought the model together with several others. So this was 80, the whole STL file, including the one for SLA printing, and a whole lot of extra information, print settings. They also state on which kind of printers that they test the model, a whole assembly instruction, everything. So $80 for this build. Then I also have bought the Death Star. Death Star was like, I think, $24, and also a little statue of Eloy from Horizon Zero Dawn, also something like that. In total, almost 130 US dollars, but I paid only 103 euro in total, so $103, something like that. So it's, yeah, it's decent. Most of my printers noise come from the cooling. Yeah, indeed, same here. The board and the dual 5015 part cooling when it kicks up for overhangs. Yeah. Yes, it is getting a paint job since I am now working with two colors. Yeah, I need to have more dowels because it's not totally flat. Back when I had only one printer, it was painful to have it down. Oh yeah, redundancy of multiple printers cannot be overstated. True. Plenty dowels, it won't break easily. Uh, yes. So for each step or for some step, you will need some dowels. There is an amount of dowels that you're going to be needed. Um, so how I did it, the The naming of the file was SD Star Destroyer step, and then one correction strip. I don't know how would you call it. And then also um, the number from the part. It's not called shield or something like that. Some parts are named like those little those little dowels. Um, so yeah, it's so I asked Eason if they want to provide some filaments, since they already sent me quite a lot. So yeah, we still have one. Yeah. So on one printer, I'm printing the dowels, and on the other one, I'm printing the parts. But sometimes uh, I print two of the same thing, making sure that I don't get issues, because yeah, those can happen. Hey, Astro Pinter, how are you doing? Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The problem is, if I'm going to push this, maybe it's not going to break. But if it doesn't fit, I also need to get it out. Star Destroyer. Yeah, because I'm using brims, there is a little edge. Is it obvious? I'm a fan of Star Wars. What do you think that? I found out that I'm actually a nerd. Because the first time when I saw the model, I I was I, I was like, who would ever pay $80 for something like this? And I was going through it. Oh my gosh, that is really awesome. That's a very sexy Star Destroyer. Who would buy $80 for something like that? Yeah, I have 3D printers. I'm printing something of Star Wars. Something like one plus one is equal to two. So yeah. So yeah, I don't mind. something like that. I have some gaps here, so I really need to going to take them out and redo them because those are two huge gaps. The second. So yeah, and I also have a Death Star. So getting my CR10 Smart working finally. Terrible printed design. Yes. Wow. Just got home. Okay. Are you printing the dowels horizontal to be strong? Yes. They are printed horizontal, and I slice everything in Prusa Slicer. And Prusa Slicer, since I was setting it on 100%, Prusa asked me if to print it in rectang, re, uh, rectangular pattern, so like that. So it's strong. Then Dana and Krutz. Krutz can also be lurking. Check Twitter. Um, ah, ah, ah. Yeah. Just a second. There you go. I'm about to go over space on my CR10S. Glendon, hello. First, hello to Liam. How
How
are
are
you doing?
you?
I'm doing fine.
I love that Star Destroyer. Um,
It's
you're a fellow nerd, man. Nerd unite, right? Man, that's crazy. See,
when you
I'm not
act.
a nerd. No, no nerd here.
It's totally normal, right?
Yeah.
We are not the nerds. We're the
See,
normal
when we
ones.
were kids, the sports guys were the jocks were the guys everybody liked. Now it's the nerds' time. We shine now.
Yeah. We yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
So it's official. We are nerds, and we
yeah.
like that. We are not ashamed of it.
No, no. I'm a nerd and proud.
Proud to be a nerd, huh?
Yeah. That CR10, whoever designed the CR10 Smart should be taken out and severely beaten around the head because it's that bad a design. It's atrocious. It's. Do you have one of those?
No, I have a CR2 on a B. I
Okay.
don't have a CR30, and that's the only CR that I have. For
My,
now.
my I have my CR my I have a CR10 Mini. It's a good printer. It's a really good printer. The CR10 Smart I got and the board died live on stream when I powered it up. I powered it up once, shut it down. Powered up the second time and the board died. It took
Mm.
me almost 3 months to get a replacement board. And then I had problems
Oh,
with the firmware and all this kind of stuff. And I finally got it printing today, and I've realized it's ABL is trash. The LED lights that are supposed to light up the bed, they're about as bright as the person who designed the printer, and that's not very bright. And the cables that power up the whole x-axis and the motors and the heating elements and everything, right? They're in the way of the spool holder. They're coming out right where the spool holder is supposed to be. Whoever designed this had it must have been on his last day in the job, and he was leaving the next day because it is really, really bad.
And yet they announce it as if it was their.
Oh, yeah, they make
their
it sound like it's the best thing since the invention of the wheel, and it's terrible. It is atrocious. I've had some questionable printers.
But what I don't understand from reality, why rushing so many 3D printers in 1 year? Why not just one decent printer and one decent resin printer?
Well, you got two. It's not that they've got a couple of. Here's what I think. Here's what quality problem is. They have way too many products out there right now. They have something like 30 or 40 products out there, right? You cannot manage and maintain and sustain that many products. I don't care who you are, as one single entity. You have to break the company up into smaller entities, and they each individually manage themselves, or decrease the overall what you have, because they have versions. They're supporting and still supporting really old products instead of end of lifing a product and bringing out a replacement. They're keeping the old product there. Like if we did that, like I'm in the software industry. If we did that in the software industry, we'd never get any development done because everything would be ancient. We'd be still supporting really old stuff, and that's what their problem is. Yeah, I know it's profits, but I agree with you, old curmudgeon. But your people are not. If your quality that you're pumping out is bad, who's going to buy it? The reviews for the CR10 Smart are atrocious. Everybody says it's a piece of crap. I finally got a printing, and its ABL is not working properly. It's not. I've set the offsets and so on, and I did the ABL, and it doesn't compensate for it at all. So there's areas of bed it digs in, and areas of bed it's high. It just doesn't work. It's
also on the 6, I have the BL Touch installed, but the firmware is as open as Fort Knox. You cannot do anything with it.
They need to open source, because if they open source the firmware, people can fix their mistakes. But that's us doing what they should be doing in the first place. They see, here's the problem with some companies, right? They don't work with the community to make better products. I work with a few companies who actually listen to me and they take advice.
Can you name a few that actually do listen?
Okay, I can name one. MakerPie is a company I've been working with a little bit. They have a new machine they were about to release on Kickstarter, because they're a small company, right? So Kickstarter for a small company is okay.
I agree.
Yeah, and they were going to release it on Kickstarter, and they shared the plans with me, and they were sharing ideas and the design. And I says, don't do that. They were going to do a dual extruder like Lulzbot does, where one extruder lifts up out of the way. It raises up when it's not being used. I said, don't do it. Go IDEX instead. I said, IDEX is a new thing. Everybody likes IDEX, and you get cleaner, better prints out of it.
Yeah.
You have an IDEX, right? You have the Artist D right now, right? And I told them you get a better quality print out of an IDEX once it's properly tuned. Yeah, it does great, right? And
not yet. No, not yet.
Not that good. Okay, I can help you with some of the tuning if you want. But I said go IDEX. They've built an IDEX machine, just one, in their lab. They scrapped the idea of their old machine and went and built, and now they're doing a QA testing on the IDEX build, and then they'll be releasing it soon.
Yeah.
Now my Artist D prints great. I have to say my Artist D prints fantastic. So you can get it there with some tuning.
Yeah,
and
sure. Because
I recommend Idea Maker for printing with the Artist D. The reason why is Idea Maker was built around IDEX. I know you like Prusa Slicer. It wasn't built for IDEX. So I recommend at least initially getting going on the Artist D.
I did this on Cura.
Yeah, Cure is okay, but it's not great. Idea Maker is designed for IDEX machines because Ray's 3D machines they built it around their machines, which are mostly IDEX machines. So they're really good. And when I print I can show you samples, but the print quality is fantastic. It's really
Oh, we can do this on direct message later on.
yeah, but it looks good. That's
Yeah.
IDEX. That's that came out really good.
Yeah.
So so yeah, we can tweak it some other time, yeah, whenever you want. Well, I can send you my profiles that I have for my printers, and you can use those.
Because
On
the second extruder is nice. I have also printed the two faces.
duplication mode, yeah,
in duplication mode. With the spiral, and that's all going fine. But now actually getting everything together,
yeah.
I need to make sure that everything is nice. But it wasn't always looking like this. So it was something like that.
Yeah,
It's
it's a bit blurry. Yeah, it's a bit blurry, but okay. Your camera's not focusing. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah. Okay, so you're getting oozing, and it's coming one into the other. Okay,
yeah,
and that's better.
This was
You're getting
also
some color bleedings. Okay, um, put in your slicer. Turn on the option to do an ooze wall or ooze shield, and that what happens is as the nozzle moves into print, it actually wipes the nozzle on the ooze shield as well, and just before it hits the print, and then it'll print. And you can only you can do one layer thick. Is all you need, one wall. Try an ooze shield. That stops it because the bleeding of it. Now also consider the positioning of the part, because when the head comes in to move, it could be passing over an area and dragging material. So you can make sure you have Z hop turned on so it only comes in and drops down where it needs to. It doesn't drag over the part, and a few things like that. A lot of people don't use Z hop, but in the case of this, it actually does help.
okay. Cool. Now, like mentioned, IDEX is a whole different kind of printer.
I have 3 of them. I have the Guido X40, I have the 10-lug D3 Pro, and I have the Artist D, the original. I got the very first version of the Artist D when they were shipped to the States. So I did so I was the first to do the unboxing, and they didn't do everything perfect, but they did a lot of good stuff on that machine. And I've been printing it a lot with that, and I just knocking part out over and over and over again, issue free. So I like it. And with some tweaking, there's also community firmware out there because they open source from day one. What's this?
Oh, yeah.
IDEX and the standard. You got 2 print heads.
Yeah.
To me, so you have 2 print heads that I can actually show you. I did a video of a print the other day. So let me of a short print. I was showing somebody else. 1 second. Where is it on my phone? So this is IDEX printers. This is printing train. 2 print heads printing at the exact same time. That's PETG.
Yeah.
See that, and that's in duplication mode. Now you also have the option of mirror mode, where they move opposite to each other. So what you can do, the nice thing about IDEX is, if you need a left and a right of something, they're the exact same. They're just mirror copies. You just design one, and then in your printer, you set it to mirror mode, and you turn the orientation so it prints one way and it'll print the other the opposite. So the heads will actually move opposite to each other. So you only need to design it once.
And you also need to make sure that if you are going to do something in duplication or mirror mode, that when you are going to slice it, then you slice it, that you have to put it on the left side.
The left side,
yeah, not in the middle.
Yeah, the left side of the bed, because you're basically saying this print head, your primary print head, which is E1, has this much space, and it can't use this half of the bed. So everything you print has to fit in this area, and then the other will automatically duplicate it. Yeah.
Yeah, and only if it is intended to print in multicolor, then you can leave it just in the center of the
Yeah,
printhead.
multicolor doesn't matter because it'll print with one head and then come out and print with the other. And the other thing is, in IDEX, you can do multi-material. So I can do PLA with one and TPU on the other head, or PLA and peak, or not peak. Um, what's it called? My head, I can't remember. The water soluble material. So if you want something that you want to do dissolvable material, you can print with one, and then the other will come out and print the supports only, and that's all it will do. And then when you're finished, you can take it off, or you can do like the support interface.
Yeah,
The extrusion technique is all the same. Yeah, they're some are direct drive, some are Bowden. I have a mixture,
it's
but
it's
yeah,
it's not like the 2-in-1 color or the 3-in-1 color where you can
no,
print multicolor, but it has to be then the same kind of filament in order to work. But on IDEX, you can throw two different kind of materials, one on the left and the other one on the right, and they can mix.
different temperatures. You can have extruder one printing at 235 degrees or 240 degrees, and extruder two could be at 190.
Yeah, yeah,
For the same material. Now that's only in duplication mode, or two, like when the two of them are printed in one part. In duplication mode and mirror mode, they have to be the same material because the temperatures and everything have to be the same. But when you're doing two different parts, you can actually do completely different profiles in each head, different start and end G code on extruder 2 over extruder 1, and all this kind of stuff. There's a lot you can do.
Yeah, and then also especially when you are printing something like a T-Rex or something else with support, you can print just normal and PLA, and you will say for extruded 2 where the PVA is, you can say the bridging between the support and the model, that little layer, you can use soluble material.
Yeah, like the PVA. Thank you. I couldn't for some reason it escaped my mind. But yeah, PVA. So you could actually, let's say you're doing something on PLA or PDG or ABS or whatever it is, and you print, and you don't want PVA is expensive filament, and you don't want to spend all the money to do lots of support. So what you could do is just where do everything in your main material, and just where the support ends and your part starts. That's called the support interface. You can print that only area, which is really small, in PVA and save all the money in PVA. And when you're finished with the part and you put it in water, the supports fall off because they're not attached, because the PVA layer dissolves. And it's only one or 2 millimeters of PVA is all you do. Hey, Stephen. So you can do a lot with it, and it's multicolor, and you can, as old Curmudgeon mentioned there, you could potentially use a like a palette or whatever, or multiple palettes on each one, and have multiple. Stephen, sorry, mentioned you can have multiple colors from the palette coming in. So there's a lot of abilities with it.
That is awesome.
Yeah, you can be very creative with it. So that's why I like IDEX. But I do it because I can print two parts at once. If like when I'm doing multiple things, if I do multiple copies, I can do I can print a bed of 60 items. Oh no, 36 items, 16 on each side, as if I was printing 16 of them, because they're both heads are working at the same time, printing the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're only printing half the bed.
If production-wise, it's ideal. It's almost like a resin, where everything on the same.
No. Yeah, well, come on, yeah, you're special. Sorry, yeah, I for some reason it was you were in my head. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's but it's really cool what you can do with it, though. It's and there's actually a Midex out there. Somebody designed a Midex, which is a Core XY IDEX, which would be really interesting to try out. Or an IDEX printer with a tool changer, so you could have multiple heads, and it'll go over and pick up a different head with a different color filament, and then you can do multicolor filament with a tool change on an IDEX, which is easy enough to do because you just use two separate print heads. They just need to come over and they need to have a tool changer on each side, and they pick up the head for that side. Yeah, that's all they'd have to do. So you can really go crazy with them. It's fun.
Oh, there are endless possibilities.
Oh yeah.
But if if you just use single color, you can always paint it.
See, that's my problem. Is I can paint. I'm really good at painting, right? But I'm really good at painting one thing. I paint gray, and that's it. That's all I paint. If it doesn't come out of a can, it doesn't come. It doesn't go on. I'm really bad at painting. So I can do I spray paint it, and then I'm done because I don't. I have no artistic qualities whatsoever.
Me neither.
Yeah. See, if I can leave it in this plain color, see if I can leave it in its natural color, I will. That's a resin print, but
Yeah, so something like this, something like this, I'm not going to paint. You know, that's too gorgeous filament to paint.
yeah, some
But
filaments are nice. Yeah.
something like this, I can paint. It's white or gray filament is great
Yeah.
to paint.
So, Gold Commodity, there's a question. Now that Liam's watching chat, can I assemble the Z1 on a folding table? You can assemble it anywhere you want as long as it's a flat surface because you need to align it to a flat surface when you tighten everything up. So, you can assemble it anywhere. I should get slapped with a harassment suit for handling it.
What?
Old Commodity is making fun of me. I like that print actually. It came out really well. That's a resin print. That Laura Croft one. It came out really good, really well. That was done on the Seed Maker printer. I have another resin printer coming in the next week or two.
Which
I
one?
hope. Yeah, I was going to do an unboxing this weekend, but I was asked not to by the manufacturer. They just want me to test it. I was planning to do an unboxing of another laser, but they said, let's not do an unboxing. Record it, and when we have stock when our stock arrives off the boat, then publish. Then you can publish the video. And I said, okay, because with the way the backlog in the ports, they don't know when it's gonna be offloaded.
Yeah, and if you are making people warm for this laser, everybody wants to buy it, but there's nowhere for sale, so nowhere where you can buy it.
Well, as long as the table is over 400 by 400, old curmudgeon, you should be. Or yeah, I would say if you have a 450 by 450 table, you can print it on that. You can assemble it on that. It will fit. He's not with the Z1 laser from Congro. I assembled that last week on the stream, and I was going to do another laser, as I said, this week, but I was asked to hold off and just record it instead. So I'm going to record it. I'll probably do it tomorrow, my normal time that I normally do a stream, but I'm just going to record it instead. Hey Anna, how are you?
Hey Anna, yeah, I want to say that.
Yeah.
So welcome on the YouTube site, Anna.
Anna's jumped into my streams a few times as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
And he's often on Jerry's stream. You know Jerry, right? 3DP.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been on Jerry's stream a few times, and I think half the guys here have either been on mine and Jerry's stream, and the same suspects move around, like non-fam and old curmudgeon and
Yeah, and
Dan.
I do need to say that we have a very big community on Twitch, Twitter, everywhere. We always meet or on Twitch or on YouTube or on Twitter or.
Yeah.
But I do need to say that because I'm very busy every evening, my wife asked me to at least reserve one evening in the week to have some time also with her. Because
Well, yeah, and you have also all the honey-do items to be done. Honey, please do this, and honey, do that, and
that is during the day in the weekends.
well, mine is often on the evening, sometimes weekends. but I set aside time for the printers and lasers and stuff because I have to show some work done on those. So like you know what it's like. But that's why I prefer to do stuff live because I can interact with the audience when I'm doing it, and it's good. I can ask questions or answer questions as it happens, and so on. You know.
Yeah, I have that too. It's I pushed so many Twitch videos out back to YouTube that I have, I think, something like 12 videos still waiting to be published. And I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's why I do. If you do it live, it's published and it's done.
yeah,
And it's easier because we're all busy. Like I'm crazy busy at my day job, and I have I have a family obviously, so I have to do stuff at home, and I jump on a lot of live streams. Like I was on a live stream this morning with Anycubic. They were doing a giveaway this morning, and then they asked me the spring asked me to help out there, so I joined in that stream this morning. And Carl Fenton won the main prize. You might know
cool.
Carl.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so he won the main prize. It was a Lithuanian competition for Halloween. Um, and there's a couple of other like. So I am often on streams like that. Like I'm on Jerry's stream. I have my own stream, Hangout Wednesday. I do the unboxings and so on Saturdays. I jump on yours when I can. I jump on Dan's when I can. Um, so I try and get into other people's groups. Like Jerry's tomorrow afternoon, I'll be there, or that's tomorrow evening your time. So
Yeah,
it
it's always around. Yeah, I don't know if you do clock change from summer to winter time.
we'll do it this coming weekend.
Yeah, because I don't know when it was. I think on Sunday or Monday. I just started streaming. Oh, Monday was it? I started streaming, and then Curmudgeon, he said, in a few minutes, Jim is going live. Hot mate.
Oh yeah, hot mix on Monday. Yeah,
Oh, I was like, oh, okay, so this is really going to get a very short live stream. So, yeah, because I used, yeah, no, I was working on a video. I made the recording and made some preparations, and so my stream started late, and I only had an half an hour or something like that.
yeah. So
Yeah,
so what you have on Monday, you have two on Monday. You see, Monday you have hot mix Monday evening with Jim, and then straight after that, um, Dan
and
does a hangout,
yeah,
right? And
yeah,
then after that, then Tuesday, sometimes Jerry does something on a Tuesday, but only sometimes. Then I'm on Wednesday evening, um, and then Thursday is a bit of a mixed bag because manufacturers often do Thursdays and Fridays. Like Congro often do a Thursday night stream.
Race
Um,
3D on Friday.
RepRap does it. Race 3D does Friday. Creality does Fridays. Um, so there's a big mixture, and then some of them do Friday nights or Saturday morning, or others will do Sunday night, which is their Monday morning. Some of the manufacturers will do that over the weekend. Um, like Yusu does Friday night. That's their Saturday morning. There's a couple of others out there that do that, so it's hard to keep track of it all. Now, Old Curmudgeon, with regards to that table, if you've got a piece of half-inch ply to put on top of it, that would make it a flat surface. And that would make it ideal for assembly.
Yeah,
Yeah, because they're in the middle of the night. If you're in the, excuse me, if you're in the EU, it's the middle of the night for you because the reason why a lot of them tend to aim more for evening time US because the US market is their biggest market. That's the biggest market they have for 3D printers and lasers and CNCs and all this kind of stuff. So that's why a lot of them are on those time frames. Some of them will do streams like I know. What's their names? Soval do early morning streams, and Comgro sometimes does early morning streams US time. That's afternoon time for the EU. but that's during your working day. Because if they did it at your evening, that would be the middle of their night. So it doesn't work out for them because of the time differences. That's the issue there. So
Yeah, I did one time another live stream, but a recording in order to get a video from J Label for their Kickstarter campaign for the IDEX 3D printer.
did you? Yeah, but I know you did an interview with them, but did you get their machine?
No, they only
You
had
interviewed what's her name?
Jade.
Yeah, Jade. Yeah, no, yeah, she's very nice. She's really nice. She's very pleasant to deal with, right? But they have not worked with any reviewers yet.
No, because
Um,
according to the information that she provided to me, I think she's honest in that. They were working with prototypes
yeah,
and samples, and they had some actually profiles to get the first machine going.
they're doing that now. No,
Yeah,
right now they've gotten to the point now where they actually are doing a manufacturing prototype where they're running because they've changed the design of the machine based on user feedback.
yeah.
Small design features changes, but they've done some, and now they're actually running test runs in manufacturing to see how the quality is that it comes out, and if it
Hmm.
comes out if it comes out the way they want, they'll go into production. So they are getting there. But I recommend it to her again. Even these prototype machines, knowing that they're prototypes, and tell people that they're prototypes, if they come out and they work and they function as planned, maybe the fit is not perfect and you're still tweaking that, but the overall functionality of the machine is good, which is mostly software as long as everything's aligned. They should be getting them out. They should be start working now to get them out there because their Kickstarter is over. They've have no marketing, no advertising, no information about the machines out there.
Yeah.
And once they start full production for the Kickstarter, they have nothing ahead of them to notify everybody about this really cool machine because non-Kickstarter people, non-backers will come along and say, okay, where's the reviews on this? And they'll get this.
Yeah.
Now, and there's other printers out there doing the same mistake, and there's lasers out there doing the same mistake, and they're not listening. I've talked to a few of them, and they decide to go their own way, and they're going to have a big lull in their market because nobody's going to buy something they don't know is good. So they're
Yeah.
going to have a drop off, and it's going to stay there until reviewers get their hands on the machines, and then it will start climbing again. Is what they're going to see.
For example, one of those Kickstarter campaigns, the iFactory one, the belt printer next to the CR30. What do you see about it? Nothing.
That's Comgrow, isn't it? No, it's not. No, iFactory One is not. Comgrow, no, sorry, not Comgrow. Sane Smart have a belt printer. They've just released as well.
Yeah, but
But
the thing was that the CR30 and iFactory had their belt printer Kickstarter campaign at the same time. One came earlier than the other, but the thing is that from iFactory you don't hear almost anything. So
yeah, nobody knows because none of the reviewers have them. I don't know any of the main reviewers or any reviewer out there that actually has an iFactory. And the only people I know that has iFactory that has one was Autodrop. He's got an iFactory, and that because he wanted to test it in his automatic system, right? Their printing system. But other than him, I know nobody out there who's got an iFactory.
yeah, I know the 3D print man, Bart. He has one, or maybe
Okay.
two even. The 3D printing Belgium has one,
Okay.
and also some other guy from Germany. He has also one, but from some yeah. The
Yeah.
Belgium have one, but from the Belgium guy, I know that the machine isn't that great, and it's that he is not he makes YouTube videos, but it's not one of the best machines from what I've heard and seen.
See, this is why you see, and I've been pushing this with manufacturers I deal with. I'll say, guys, look, you need to deal, even if it's a beta machine that you're thinking about releasing, and you want to get feedback on it. Not, and you could state, like, to people like us or whatever, say, don't advertise it. I want you to play with it and test it and tell me what we have done wrong, how to make it better. I do beta testing. I've done some beta testing, and I've told companies what they need to fix. Some who fix it, that's a better machine they're releasing. Some who don't, they have to deal with the complaints about it and fix it after the fact, right? So I think they need to start working. Companies who work more with the community will make better machines. And as I said, I have a few companies I work with that are not yet released product, but they are in the process of developing stuff, and they've been listening.
You know, Liam, what I like quite a lot. Here, this machine,
What's
the Focus, the Focus.
yeah, and they listen.
No Kickstarter,
No.
not a really pre-order, and send them to a lot of influencers.
And they're doing great, and their support is excellent. Is it a perfect machine? No. Is it a good machine? Yes.
It works.
I've found a few flaws with it. I've reported to them,
Yeah.
and like I've dealt with them, and they're saying they thank you. I found out only last night. Like I said, I was going to do an unboxing tomorrow, but I actually cancelled. I'm not going to do it. I've stopped because I got the very first and only one outside of the company of a laser, and I'm going to put it together and myself and give feedback on it. I'm the only. They told me last night I was the only person they sent it to.
Okay.
Because
nice.
they want my input, because I found a couple of issues that they need to correct on their printers, and they like that, so they can improve, and they want me to do the same with their lasers, because I have done lots of lasers as well. I think I have 5 or 6 lasers is what I have lying around here right now. So they want me to test their laser. So I'm not going to be doing it live. I'm just going to give technical feedback about what I recommend that they should, at least if the machines are already built, at least they know what questions they're going to get, and they could actually make videos in advance of what to do. They can do information out there. They can document what needs to be done, and they can improve it. So then when the end user gets it, at least the answers are available, is what they're looking for.
Shall I tell you something?
You can tell me lots of things. Hey, Tim.
Yeah, it's a common thing here in the Netherlands to say, "Oh, zal ik je wat vertellen?" I was working on the JG Maker, and I had this huge wobble in the bed.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, yeah, and I think maybe somebody suggested it, but I was like, okay, so maybe the wheels are too loose on one side, but I cannot reach it with the spanner, you know. So the only thing that could be done is taking the whole Y frame off in order to get to the screws. So I did that, and everything is now pretty tight. Everything runs smoothly, no wobble anymore. And so I was thinking about it to actually make a video about it last week. But then I saw in my YouTube feeds that JG Maker already made a video about it. So, or they
were good about it. Yeah.
Or they have seen my video, my live stream, and didn't say anything.
Well, Joel had a similar issue.
Yeah, I know.
Joel telling. I didn't, and I know a lot of people who didn't. But it seems to be on the Pro that it seems to turn up more than it does in the standard, which is kind of weird, because the standard ones, which like the first batch of them, had less mechanical issues like that. But anyway, so a couple of other people had that, and they made a video, and that's good, because the information is how to correct it, right? And so if they get more stuff out into hands of people who are going to test stuff, and then give feedback and say, here's the issue, here's what we did to fix it, and they understand that, then they can actually be ahead of the support issue and say, oh, this is wobbly. Okay, yeah, here, check this link. This video will show you how to fix it. and do multiples of that, then their support goes from being up here from day one is going to nosedive because there's answers already out there, right?
Exactly.
So and that's
That
what they're trying to do, and that's great.
3D RCC, the CR30 got a lot of hype just because it was the first. So other have to work a bit more to
They
push it.
weren't the first. They were not the first to have a belt printer. There was belt printers before Creality. Creality just had marketing money to throw at it and to hype it up, and a lot of people heard about it because of the inclusion or the involvement of Naomi Wu in it, which is also was big marketing for them because she has a lot of followers, and that helped hype it up. But um, there was like the White Knight was before that. There was a couple of others before the CR30 that were actually already out there, but they were made on a smaller scale. Corelity was the first mass production of them. I agree, but there was a few others out there prior to that.
Yeah, and it was also with Bill Wise and with the White Knight together. So it's
Yeah, he was involved with the designing of it. Yeah, he
yeah.
was.
So I
And
think that approach was pretty awesome.
that was good, and it was good marketing, and they ramped up production, and they met a high demand, and they sold it really well, and I think it's done pretty well. Um, I don't have a belt printer, so I can't count it. I could have used one with the toys I was printing, but I don't have a belt printer, so I've been just using my other stuff for those toys. But the maybe next year I'll get myself a belt printer sometime early next year. Then I can just put a 10. What I was going to say is get a 10 kilo spool on a belt printer, hit go, and let it print for 2 or 3 weeks now, or 4 weeks non-stop. Change the spool, print, let it print for another 4 weeks, part after part after part. So I'll get there eventually. I'll get a belt printer at some point.
Same here, same here.
Yeah,
I have
Tim.
several ideas. So yeah.
Yeah, Tim, that belt printer you're talking about is the Infinity 3D printer. Is the one you're referring to. I have I have spoken to them about their printer. I've given them a whole pile of different suggestions about their machine. They are adopting some of them already, and they are listening to what the community is saying. They've been responsive on our user group. I've been dealing with some of the guys there, and they were saying their print temps up to 280 degrees. I said, okay, well, you're going to print at 280, then you have to get in an all metal hot end because you can't print at 280 with a Bowden tube. With a Bowden tube goes all the way to the nozzle, you can't do it, right?
No.
That's a problem. That's a health issue. So I gave them some other suggestions as well, and they're actually investigating. But I like their idea. I don't know how well it's going to work in reality, but it's going to go. You can print at 90 degrees on a belt, and it's Core XY flipped on its side at 90 degrees, right?
Yeah.
And so you can print at 90 degrees and at normal Cartesian style print speeds, and the belt just rolls apart off the end, right? Or you can adjust it and tilt it down to 45 degrees and do the continuous long prints.
Yeah.
So if you're doing high production, 90 degrees is the way to do it because you can print faster. At 45 degrees, every layer is a first layer. So all belt printers print slower than a Cartesian because every layer is a first layer, right? So then that's the reason why they're all slower. But if you're doing long prints, 45 is the way to go. And if you're doing multiples, shorter, smaller prints, set it at 90 and just run them off the end of the bed when you're finished. I think it's got a lot of potential.
Oh yeah, that's my thought as well.
Yeah.
Tim, by the way, hello, welcome to the live stream.
Tim's live streams is Sunday night, which is late for you. Very, very, very late for you.
Yep.
Did you see Tim's rat rig? He built a rat rig over a space of 10 weeks, 8 or 10 weeks live. He built the rat rig, the 500 by 500 by 500 rat rig.
Cool.
It's a lovely machine. I'm so jealous.
I'm still working on my small 3D printer.
Your Voron?
Yeah.
You're not done with that yet?
No,
Slacker, come on.
something came in between.
Oh,
Some things came in between. A lot of things came in between. Now, um, it's almost done. I still need to have a second parts cooling fan
okay.
because one of the two has some issue. I don't know what the issue is, but maybe I'm going to find it out. I don't know. But I still need to order a second one, and then also firmware.
So Tim, on his stuff, he recently went and changed his main board over, and he is now, and he's starting to use. He went away from um, Marlin, but what did he switch to again? He switched to
Clipper?
Clipper. Yeah. So he's going to be doing he's going to this week's stream is going to be he says he's going to be doing input shaping for it, which is kind of cool.
Hmm. Talked into a 4.0.1 kit.
If you're going to stream it, tell him to give you 100% off, and you're going to stream the build live, and he can and you will advertise him as a supplier,
Yeah,
and you'll give him. That's what you should be doing. Not no 100% off crap. You do a lot of live streams. You give him good promotions over the space of the time of the build, over the weeks of the build.
the viewers are not going to complain about it.
No, we love seeing this kind of stuff. So
Yeah, I got from Isan to spools of filament for my starship build,
nice.
star destroyer build. Small, but still something. I asked for four, but they said, "Oh no, we only give to them." And I
Yeah,
said,
but
"Okay."
Tim, I understand you're saying that, but imagine how much it's going to cost him to get the same advertising that you're going to give him by live streaming the build of that machine, and you name him as part of the stream title and in the description.
Yeah,
That's huge advertising that he won't get, and it's going to be cheaper to do that than it will be to pay for advertising to get the same type of visibility.
and you have the fun of building it.
Hey Joe, how are you?
Ah, I'm back.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, you should have a chat with him. Yeah, yeah, you recognize this Irishman, yeah? Joe and I collabed on something in the past, so we how is are you getting ready for the cold weather down there? It's just as cold here in Michigan, I bet.
uh,
It's cold where you are too, is it?
yeah, where I live, I'm more like the spring and summer guy. I
I'm
like
more summer
warm.
myself, yeah. Actually,
It's
I have to
cold.
ask you.
I'm not made for cold weather.
Okay,
It's
neither am
terrible.
I. Yeah, yeah. So I have a question for you. I brought up on my stream the other night. You're you're far enough north. You're further north than I am. I'm in Michigan, and you're much further north, correct? You are. What's
Uh,
your latitude? Or your longitude? What you don't know your longitude and latitude? No. I think you're
I'm
further north than Michigan.
I'm going I'm going to check. Oh, by the way, I'm going to form this.
70. The 70 is not cold. 70 is like that. That's summer here that's a nice weather in Michigan. We have this morning was 28 degrees. I had to scrape ice off my truck to bring my son to school this morning and
Uh,
yesterday and the day before.
my wife said that I'm at I'm at
Hey, Polly mate.
uh, come on, give me the numbers.
Normally, if you type in the name of your city, Google will show you a little panel on the side giving you longitude and latitude.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It used to show that, but
Yeah, when we get real harsh winters here, and I expect this year to be a cold year. They're saying like we often get in January or February temperatures of around for a week or two of about -36.
is this for first longitude and then latitude, or here
Yeah,
first
well,
latitude?
just read out the numbers to me. I know where you are.
51.52321.
And the other one?
5299972.
Okay, the second one is your east-west position. The first one is your north-south position. So you are actually further. You are further north than me because for definite. So you probably get some harsh winters there too. We're at 33.
Unfortunate.
So you're on your equivalent to summer in in the central Canada is where you are. Um,
Very, yeah, very. Hey, Dolda. Bully mates, how are you doing? I hope I didn't get you into trouble. Why? Why is that?
so the
Why
first
was?
digits is your latitude. So just in future, the first digits is your latitude, which is the number of positions from the equator going north and south, and the other ones is east to west, which is your longitude.
Okay,
You
then.
never offered to take me for dinner, Tim.
So, but just. Oh no, no, no! She could laugh about it as well. She said, "Oh, that's Adele," and I was like, "Oh, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know." So Form next. So in 2 weeks, I'm going to Form next. I go for 3 days. I have 3 tickets. One of them is the first time a press card.
Ooh, so you can go get background and get video and put together a stream on that one.
Yeah, I can.
Do you have 5G phone service?
I do have an iPhone 10s
No, but
Max.
yeah, but no, but do you have 5G? If you had 5G, you could live stream out of there. 4G you can do, but it's not very good. With 5G, you could actually live stream.
Hmm. Yeah, I need to check that out because last time when I had the Dutch Design Weeks 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was live streaming, but I mean 4G and it didn't go quite well. I still need to look with my phone provider how to get the maximum out of my uh, phone because it's not the problem of the phone. Because when I got home, I tried it within the normal environment and I could live stream without any
Yeah,
problem.
but it's different though because your phone service it depends on the strength of the signal in the area and the building you're in, and there's so many things can interfere with it.
Yeah,
If there was like if you had Wi-Fi that other people were not using, you could live stream fine over Wi-Fi on your cell phone. But if
yeah,
you're when you're running over the data network, the distance you are from the towers and all that kind of stuff affects you. Now, if there's 5G in the area and you're closer to get good signal for 5G, 5G it'd be close to what you run at home, internet
yeah,
speed. So you can
yeah.
live stream with your cell phone as a data carrier. As long as you're not data capped, you should be good.
Uh, I have maximum. I can when I can stream for hours without any data problem.
Well, I don't. I have. I got business internet. In my house. The reason why I went from normal home internet to business cable TV or business cable is with business. If it goes down, because I work out of home, if it goes down, they have to be out and have it fixed within 4 hours. Required by contract. They have to have it solved within 4 hours.
Hmm.
So if with normal cable internet connection, if it goes down and you call them, they could say we'll have somebody out to you in 3 days. So, and I can't afford to be down because I work from home. So I got business internet, and normal home users do have data caps. I have none. As a business internet user, I have no data caps.
My maximum would be 500 megabit per second, but if I run a speed test, it's not close to that. It's around 350.
Up or down?
Up, no,
Okay,
down,
yeah, that's
down.
way faster than I have. Yeah, that's way faster than I have. But my streams are not. Are I don't have issues with the streams anyway, so I'm good with what I have. But they're starting to offer in some areas, like with AT&T here, you can get gigabit fiber directly to your home. But they're not in my area. And my internet provider offers gigabit, but they charge obscene amounts of money, so I'm not going to go there. What they do offer gigabit, but it's just ridiculously expensive. It's three
Mhm.
times what I'm paying today.
I pay for our internet here at home. I pay like 70 euro. It's including television.
That's way cheaper than
Phone.
us. I pay 120 dollars, and that's just internet only. That's no TV, no telephone. But it doesn't matter. I have my own. I have my own PBX phone PBX. So I run my own phone system in the house. We have our own house phone numbers and stuff like that with multiple lines. I have a line for my office and a line for my family and so on. But it's um, the I don't. Yeah. So that's just internet only. So it's expensive here in comparison.
Hmm.
Now that will change from state to state. So
Yes, yeah. So yeah, sometimes I have some internet connections issue. So then I'm very mad at the company because it's not what's supposed to happen. But yeah, it does happen. I'm now on Wi-Fi, but I need to check if I can get a wired connection between the router downstairs and the point that I'm here. So
well, I'm an IT nerd, so every room in my house has hardwire.
yeah, this is best.
Going into Cisco switches and going through a Cisco PIX for firewall in my home. So I like IT is what I've done, what I do. So that's what my background is. So designing IT stuff, IT infrastructure. So the yeah, I know I have my whole house has hardwire in every room. If you want it's Wi-Fi everywhere too. But if you want to plug something in and hardwire it, you can do that in the house.
Yeah, yeah, I'm planning to do that, but first make sure that everything is nice. That
You can do it. You can do it without running cable. You can do it over your power lines. You can get adapters that plug into the power socket, and and then you plug one in near your router, and you put a cable from that into your router, and then a cable from the one in your room into your computer, and they actually send data over the power lines to each other because you pair them. So it sends data over the power lines to each other to your, and so you can actually do data over your power lines.
Hmm. I have tried that, but here in our house it's not working. I need to know at which kind of group
You got
this
no,
is.
you got two circuits, right? So you need to
Wait,
put one on each circuit. So you have two circuits in the house, okay, and your switcher on your circuit breaker panel, you have a left and a right side, right? One
No,
goes to circuit one goes to the other circuit. This probably what you have,
no,
and you need
not
to
yet.
bridge them.
That's not what we have.
No, but
No.
it's probably not working because you need to bridge you. I'm guessing you have two feeds, and then your circuit breaker is divided up, and you need the bridge between the two of them. There's two ways of doing that. Either get it by a bridge to bridge the data, or get two of those connectors and put them both going into your router or your switch, and then you pair up with one or the other, and then whichever side the data is, you can carry it across. So you just need to find out which circuit it's being fed, and that's the one you plug it into.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah.
I have two in mine, but I put a bridge in mine. Is what I did. But I don't do that anymore. But when I initially set up, I had a bridge.
Yeah. We here have 6 different groups.
So you need to bridge them. Yeah, but you just need to find one that it works on, and then plug into the whatever one it works on in your room. That's the one you wire it to, and then you can do data transmits over that. If you don't want to pull physical cable throughout your house. Now I have cable pull now, but initially I didn't.
Yeah, but I want to do I want Wi-Fi is now so far okay, but eventually I want to make wires pull wires everywhere.
Yeah, that's what I did, and I have a Cisco switch, and everything plugs in there, and then that goes to my router. So everyone goes, and then through my firewall and my router. So
Mm.
everyone goes through that to get to in for internet connection. But and it works great. But not many people use the hardware in the house. Everybody's wireless. Everybody uses Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's handy, but in one way, but the other way, it's when you do more heavier things, then having a hard wire is much better.
Yeah, because Wi-Fi is shared. You're all sharing the Wi-Fi, and even the one thing that a lot of people don't realize about Wi-Fi is if your whatever channel your Wi-Fi is transmitting on, because there's normally 15 channels, and your neighbor, if anyone in your neighborhood is using and that's close by you is using the same channel number, you're going to have conflicts, and it's going to slow down your Wi-Fi. So you need to find out what everybody else is using, and then use a channel nobody else is using. That way, then you can optimize your Wi-Fi performance.
Yeah, we are on 5 gigahertz instead of the 2.4.
Yeah, but there's still only 15 channels that they use, 14 or 15 channels, and they all share them. Well, that's 5G will make it is for internet for a normal cell phone, but I'm talking about home Wi-Fi. For yeah, you still need to have a different channel. If you can find a least congested channel, it's better.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I do with my Wi-Fi. So it performs really good. So so how many printers do you have working on building your Star Destroyer?
At this moment, just two, because I don't have that much spools of filament, or else I would have done that. Uh, but also, not rushing anything, just going on normal slow pace. At some moments, I have 4 or 5 printers printing simultaneously different kind of things, not only Star Destroyer parts, but also other things that I would need. I think this coming week I'm going to make some little containers, which I can hang here on the shelves here on the edge, so I can put some SD cards or some other tools in it, and also next to that another tray with some yeah,
Yeah.
supports or some brims, so that
Is
everything.
is that a
It's
Congo Robo CNC in the background?
yeah, it is.
They're a nice little machine. They work.
Oh, they work. Yeah, I know.
I did this on the Congo. That was done on the Congo.
That's looking nice. Yeah, I didn't. I set mine up, but I still didn't use it because uh, I need to figure things out.
It's dusty. You don't want to do it around your printers. I would find somewhere else to operate it because you have a garage.
Yeah, it's specced.
Well, find a small spot in there and use that because you do not want to do it around your printers. Or build an enclosure around it so it's contained and then you can vacuum it out. Because, yeah, you do not want to be cutting wood or anything like that or acrylic. Acrylic is messy. Wood is dusty, very dusty.
Yeah, but for that reason, it's standing there. You know, I
Yeah.
want to I want to use the laser engraver parts, the CNC milling. I know that I'm not going to do that right here, but you know, I had to move everything as soon as possible upstairs. Uh,
Do you have dust? Do you have uh air extractor in that room where you are?
no,
Don't do laser then because you're going to have to deal with the smoke up there. You need to be able to take the air out of it.
yeah, I have a window here. That works.
Well, okay, well then put it over on top of the enclosure where the printer is behind you, where you have the what's his name? Uh,
The delta.
yeah, the right behind you, the white enclosure. CNC is very noisy, but even if you're just laser engraving, put it up there, and then put a fan, open the window, and have a fan sucking the air out the window. That way, you get the smoke out of the room.
Mhm.
That's what I would probably do with it in that room because otherwise, you don't want to be choking on smoke from a laser.
No, I don't want to. Yes, this is a PS5 headset. This is the Pulse, but I don't have the PS5. No, still didn't manage to get it.
I'm not a gamer, so
Well, actually, somewhere this coming week, I want to put an extra shelf here because here on top of my desk, I have from IKEA three rails, three brackets, and two shelves. And there are also two printers standing. I don't know if you saw my Twitter picture last time, but I have now 17 3D printers standing here. So everything fits.
yeah. I'm probably going to thin out my printers soon because I know I have more stuff coming in. Um, and I've been told that it's not in the US yet, but I have a 500 by 500 by 500 printer coming in as well. That's a bed slinger. So it's a normal Cartesian 500, yeah, half meter cubed.
Wow.
So that's coming my way. I think to print on a printer that big, I will need to have a filament company sponsor me because I like the amount of spools I'm going to use to print on that.
I find the artillery sidewinder. It's 300, 300, 400.
Mm.
It's already big. So yeah,
I have loads of those.
500.
I have a lot of printers that size. And the biggest I have right now is my Ender 5 Plus, which is a 350 by 350 by 400. That's the biggest printer I've got right now, but I know that big half meter cube is coming my way.
Wow. It's nice.
I'm going to use it to print. I'm going to use it to print a full size R2D2. That'll be 4.5 feet tall. That's almost 4.5 feet is what a meter, 1.5 meters tall, or just over 1.5 meters tall for a full size R2D2. I'm going to print it on that.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, a 500 bed slinger. So you printed it slowly. Well, I believe it's a bed slinger anyway. I only heard its name. I can't find any details about it because they haven't released the machine yet. So it's difficult to find details on this machine. So, but I believe it's on a ship somewhere in the middle of the Pacific on its way here. But the problem is, it's going to spend probably 2 months in port, and then another 2 months stuck in the craziness that the way the ports are
Yeah,
backed up before it ever gets into a truck to be delivered. So,
yeah, probably.
oh yeah, this is going to be huge. I'll probably have to build a table just for that one because that thing's going to be so big.
But you can manage that, right?
Well, there's a possibility there's a bigger one coming, bigger than that. There's a possibility of a 700 cube coming my way too at some point, and that is not a Bedslinger. That's a Core XY 700 cube that might be coming my way.
But how big is that going to be then?
700 by 700 by 700 point area is this if the bigger one comes as well, which is a Core XY. It's a cube. It's like the big cube machine, but it's got linear rails on the side that are about a centimeter thick or more, and that's just their linear rails, big heavy duty Z screws. It's Core XY on top, and it's a bed dropper, is what it is. A cube. That's if that may come my direction.
Mm.
So if that does come my way, that I'll have to build a table just to hold that one.
Are you going to make it out of aluminum?
No, it's a manufactured part. It's from a supplier, from a manufacturer of printers.
Yeah. No, but you said if that
No,
you
I
have
build it
worked
out. No. If I'm doing a table, I do it out of wood. I'll build it all out of wood.
okay, so not steel or
No, I
aluminum.
like woodcraft. I like woodcrafting. I've
Oh, who
done
wouldn't say?
tables. I've done tables. I've done. You see, I do some CNC stuff, like I showed you a moment ago.
Yeah.
I've actually built tables. My father was a carpenter. So I don't have his skill, but I have some of his knowledge. And I'm knowledgeable enough. Like I've built tables for heavy fish tanks and all this kind of stuff as well. I've done in the past life when I was living in Ireland, I've built roofs and I've built staircases and all this kind of stuff, cabinets. I know how to do all of that kind of stuff. So it's not that hard for me to make to do this, to do stuff out of wood. And I prefer hand tools over machines. When I'm building stuff of wood, I'd rather cut it by hand, the
I can
old-fashioned way,
imagine.
sawing, because that's what I was raised to do. Like I'll use a power stuff now and again, but I much prefer to when I'm doing woodwork to cut it by hand.
Yeah, I can imagine. But on the other hand, a CNC machine is also not bad.
I don't have yeah. If I had a big CNC, I could do stuff on a big CNC, but maybe I'll build maybe next year at some point I'll build a big CNC. At some point, those CNCs I have right now are small. I have two small CNCs.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Congro that you have, the Robo, and I also have the Artur Arufo. But at some point, I would like to build my own large CNC. Like you've seen Jerry's CNC, right? Jerry has an MP CNC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like that I'd like to build myself as well at some point. That's a nice little setup. I just need to find a place to put it, first of all. But I'd like to build something like that.
But that's very nice to have a big CNC machine. But yeah, for me at this moment, I have stored it here. But eventually, I want to use it somewhere. But I need to find a place where I can put it without having any issues.
Well, if it's short work, if it's short jobs, what I done like with the weather's nice,
Mm-hmm.
take it outside and plug it in and let it run outside. Like on a deck, if you have a deck or whatever, just do it out there,
Yeah.
or out in your backyard or whatever. That's like on a table in your backyard. That's fine. I've done a lot of my laser work that I do. I do it outside. I do have an extractor system built in that I set up in my house, but I'd rather just sit it outside if the weather's nice and sit outside in the nice weather and let the laser work. What I enjoy the nice summer weather, you know. So that's I did a lot of laser work out there.
Hmm. Nice. Yeah, I still, yeah, and also which kind of programs, because I'm running a Mac. Which kind of programs can I use for that?
For the laser to control a laser, I like Lightburn. Lightburn is really good. It costs about $70. You often get it on sale for half that price. Sometimes, but Lightburn is really good. I like Lightburn. Um, you can use Inkscape, and there's a plugin for Inkscape for a laser control, so you can design an Inkscape and send it to your laser. And for your CNC, I like to use Fusion 360 because Fusion 360 has got built-in cam, and you can do the tool pathing for the CNC in Fusion, and then it creates the G code. It creates the NC files, .nc files, and your CNC will play those, and that's the tool paths, the different passes it makes, and how deep it goes each pass to cut out the material. So you just do that. You can do that on Fusion in the manufacturing option. You know Fusion?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in Fusion you have manufacturing. So you import your file there, and in manufacturing you create your toolpaths.
I need to learn quite a lot.
It's not that hard. There is the difference is Fusion for CAM is designed for a big production, and if you pay for Fusion, you have access to all of this like 5-axis stuff and 4-axis and all this kind of stuff features, which you don't need any of them for a 3-axis CNC. So so a lot of the features in there for CAM for creating tool padding you don't use. There's a handful of settings. Actually, I'm going to do a video on that in the next week or so, because some people have been asking about it because that's what I use. Like that swan I showed you, that was done in the tool padding for that was done in Fusion. So that's what I'm going. So I'll do a video on it. It's not hard. There's a couple of settings you really need to know, maybe 8 or 10 settings, and then you should be able to get a good job. And as long as you understand what they do, and you preview your work before you export it, you can actually see where you're succeeding, where you're failing, and you can tweak the settings to get it out to get the good output.
Yeah. Okay, fully made. That's good to know.
Yeah. If you have questions, let me know. I can help out. No problem.
Yeah, sure. No, but I will ask them over direct message on Twitter if needed. I think that's always great, you know.
Yeah, because we can jump on just private, and if you wanted to, at some point on StreamYard, and I can show you. I can walk you through it if you wanted to. If you ever wanted to go that route or whatever, we can do WebEx or.
If I, this happens. If I don't do anything with it, it will still stand there next year. And still
It'll look pretty.
Look pretty though. Does get it does get dusty, but not because of the working.
Well, if they're not dusty, they're not working, right? But yeah, I know I like CNC. CNC is fun.
ABS, I printed within this enclosure. I didn't have any problems with it when I was working printing the ABS parts for the Forum.
I don't print ABS because of the smell and because of the health issues associated with it. Even in an enclosure, unless you can vent it outside, I won't do it. So I don't do ABS for those reasons. But I'd rather I can. There's nothing. There's very very little you need to print an ABS that you can't do in PETG. And PETG is safe to print indoors. So without an enclosure. So and I do a lot of PETG printing, and it's way safer to print. So I haven't found anything yet that I needed to do an ABS that I can't do in PETG. So that's what I stick with.
3RC's Z3D our CNC use Fusion? No, F3D. Is that Fusion 3D?
I don't know FTD.
It's really good.
Fusion
Like
works great and it's free. Fusion is free and it's great for your tool padding. I don't know F3D. Do I know F3D? Maybe it's got a longer name that I recognize.
yeah. Anna, sleep well and see you next time.
Good night. Yeah.
The free version works great. Styrene gas, it's called, from ABS.
Yeah, and there's also VOCs. There's volatile emissions as well, not beside the styrene, beside the gas. The volatile emissions are the carcinogenic ones because they get into your lungs, into your respiratory system, and they cause cancer. So they're the one. They're more worrying, I think, than the fumes. And the fumes are nasty, but they're more worrying. And the VOCs are more worrying than anything else because the ABS emits like ABS and nylon and ASA and all those higher temp materials. They emit an awful lot of VOCs that are really bad for you. So that's why I avoid them. I do mostly PETG, some PLA, but a lot of PETG.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I've been doing recycled PETG recently. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. IC3D do a recycled PETG, and it actually, the settings you use for PLA work minus the print temperature has to be up to 240 and the bed has to be at 70 degrees. But it prints like PLA. It prints really easy.
Oh.
Because they recycle it, there's something that changes in the chemical bonds in it that makes it easier to print.
Just put the entire printer outside.
You could do that, but then you have air movement and so on. You have to deal with ABS that become problems. Because
with this enclosure, it's getting toasty in there.
Yeah, no, but any air movement can actually cause ABS to shrink as well. So any cooling of air, like outdoors. So that's why I don't bother with it. I just do PETG, and I've never had to do ABS. I've never found a reason. Well, I never heard of it as S3D. Okay. Hey, Andrew, how are you?
Yeah, hello.
Andrew's in Scotland.
Scottish?
Yeah. He's not Scottish, but that's where he lives. Oh, and then we have look, Kieran. Hey man, he's in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
He's probably out. He's probably working right now.
Friday evening says hello. Good morning, Saturday, Australia. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
And for you, it's still afternoon.
In Australia right now, it depends. I think it's late morning. I think it is. For me, it's 7 p.m. Yeah.
Just afternoon. Just
evening, early evening. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Slow and steady wins the race. Yeah, indeed. Slow FDM sucks. Yeah.
The Core XY is the solution for that, guys. You can get good prints at 150, 3 times normal regular FDM. So, even faster. You can go to 250, and we've all seen the Voron do 1,000 millimeters, right? We've all seen that print.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be good quality print at that speed, but like that's obscene speeds to print at.
Off again now. Okay. Good evening, and see you later. And well, it's if you cannot always make it, it's fine. It's no problem. I'm not going to hunt you down. We're not going to do that.
Not well, at least not yet.
No, I will send Liam. He's close by. He's in
Oh, you're
Washington
in Washington
State,
State. Oh, I'm getting you mixed up with a different Andrew then. I'm sorry.
I guess.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There's another Andrew that often comes on stream with Jerry and myself, and he's in Scotland.
6:50.
So he's 12-hour time difference from us. Kieran is.
Now here 5 hours.
He's on the same as Shanghai time.
Ah, cool. Oh, .f3d is fusion files.
Yeah.
He's not Andrew S.
Yeah, that's who was getting mixed up with. Andrew S. That's it, not Andrew Osmond. That's right, old curmudgeon. Thank you. That's the two I was getting mixed up with. Shanghai, Singapore, KL. I've been to all of those countries, all of those cities, every one of them.
I mean, I wasn't.
Well, I lived in Singapore for a couple of years. I've been to KL, Kuala Lumpur a couple of times, and I've been to Shanghai for work a few times.
Nice. No, never been there. It's
Singapore's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. Immaculately clean. People are friendly. Crime rate is super low. It's fantastic. Taiwan. I've been to Korea. I haven't been to Taiwan.
Dogs need a wipe. I'm
Oh, it
going
must be raining. It's the beginning of their summer in Australia, so must be raining outside.
No. I'm going to grab something to drink. I will be right back. Just
Sure.
a second.
So as far as I know, a few minutes. Okay, that's all curmudgeon. Oh, yeah. So I have been to Korea, South Korea, a few times. I haven't been to Taiwan. So, what's everybody? I'll fill in once we're waiting for Zach. What's everybody else working on? Oh, well, come on, she needs a bath. Oh. So, what's everybody working on? I finished my Toys for Tots. I'm done. I am officially out of filament again, and I'm not getting more. I'll be planning a road trip to IC3D's office to deliver them in the next few weeks. Probably head down there on a Friday, or if they're there Saturday, I'll go down on a Saturday morning instead. They're about 3.5 hour drive from me, and maybe while I'm down there, I'll do a bit of shopping to get new filament, stock up a little bit. Printing on the Voron, and also printing on the Focus. Okay, I use the Focus a fair bit. I got my CR10 not so smart working today, finally, after having to replace the main board and redo the firmware and a couple of other things. Even though it's working, it's still terrible. So I have to do a lot more work on that machine to get it working to where I would deem it to be suitable for use. But I'm going to be working on a laser tomorrow, building a new laser. Yeah, not so smart. That's right. The CR10 not so smart.
The CR stupid.
The CR dumb, yeah. Well,
CR dumb.
the way I like the LED, there's LEDs on the side of it, on the side of the X-axis, and they're not bright. So what I said, what I like to say is, The LEDs are about as bright as the engineer who designed the printer, right? And they're not at all bright.
Oh,
They don't. They light up about this much of a 300 bed, and they shine on one spot. And so if you're printing over here, like if they were above it, shining down, they'd give some light, but it's very very weak light. So at some point, I am going to put in LED lights if I decide to keep the printer because it's troublesome. If I do, I'll put LED lights on the top of the Z-axis across the very top gantry, overhanging, shining down on the part if I decide to do it. But the side lights, yeah, they're a waste of time.
oh
They
my
should never
gosh.
have been included. All they do is waste power and waste real estate on the printer.
Hmm.
Yeah.
The BQBX has also LED light underneath the top, but it's
That's a good
actually
idea.
it's very beneficial. Also, when the printer is cooling or heating, you will see it on the LED lights as well. It's interacting with it, huh?
No, that's the right way to do it. These two tiny little LED beams at the side that are shining on this much of a bed this size is pointless.
Yeah,
They'd been
yeah,
better
because
off. They'd been better off to put the LEDs as part of the hot end underneath the hot end shining down, or put it on the on top of the Z-axis.
yeah, and more. But just like what I have here on the Viper, looks neat, but it's if everything is dark, it's not beneficial.
No, you need much brighter light.
Yeah,
Well, I have on my racks that I have, I put LED lights above on the racks, so it shines down on my printers.
yeah. From Wamband systems, I got the LED strip or just the yeah
Yeah, I
printer
haven't dealt
light.
with Wham Bam. I haven't dealt with Wham Bam guys at all for anything.
Um, now we are talking about Wambam. Where are those plates made that you know of?
What, Wham Bam stuff?
Yeah,
I'm sure
the
it's all made in
plates.
China, right?
Sorry,
All of that stuff is probably made in China.
I always thought it was made in the US.
I don't know. Well, like, let's put it this way: the company is a US-based company, right? But why would you make something in your own country that costs way more to make when you can have somebody else make it for you cheaper overseas and brand it with your name? So I don't know, but my guess, I don't know how much of it's made in the US, but you can
Um,
source it overseas cheaper.
I am going to check that.
And that's just good business practice to buy cheaper so you have better business profits, which then allows this business to succeed to offer more products, right? So my guess is they're probably made overseas. They're made in China or somewhere. Um, that's my guess. If like they could be making some of them here, but I don't know if they're making all of them here because that's
Now,
if you
I thought I heard somebody saying that their plates were made in the US, but
well okay
I
they could be.
I got for the ND6, I got this plate and it was shipped from out of China. So I was a little bit I was like sorry, from from who did I get this, And I was like
Yeah.
it's from Wambam?
Yeah, no,
But
I think no. Most of those companies, like unless there's a need to make it in country, like small components, like slap mats and all this kind of stuff, or magnetic beds. If you can bulk buy it out of somewhere else cheaper than making it locally, unless there's a driver to make it locally, then why would you? You just buy it in from overseas and make sure it's branded in your company's name, right? Like some products have to be made in that country. Like in my job, I deal a lot with federal agencies, right?
Mhm.
And when you're dealing with federal agencies, everything that they buy um, must come from within the US. If they call a number for support, they have to be talking to US people in the US for support. They cannot you cannot route them to another country. That's against you can just can't do it because they're federal agencies, right? And city and state are often the same as well. Um, but unless if you can bulk buy, and just going to use slat mats because we're talking about slat mats, right, and stuff, right? If
Mhm.
you can buy our magnetic beds, if you can buy 10 magnetic beds overseas for the price of making one here, good business says go buy the 10.
Yeah.
So that's why China is succeeding so well, because they can offer stuff cheaper, and as long as you control the quality that you want in your country, that they meet that quality requirement. Doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter where it comes from, right? It's a U.S. company, but it's if you buy if you chances are the car you're driving, right, whatever make it is, most of it's made overseas. Like I I drive a truck, okay. I know for a fact that about 60 or 70% of it is made overseas, is made outside
Mm.
the U.S., if not more. Now, if you drive a Honda in the US, which is a foreign car, right? Most of the parts for the Honda are made here in the USA. Most of the parts for Honda cars in the States are made in the States. So out of all of the US manufacturers, the Honda makes more parts in the US than every manufacturer that is a US
Mm.
based company. And they're Japanese. They make them in country. So yeah, the cost of living over there is lower, so therefore
Yeah.
it's cheaper to make stuff over there. That's what it is, right?
Yeah.
I even inquired about getting stuff branded with my own name on them, like magnetic beds and stuff, and I can do it, and it'd be cheap. And but the only right now though, the only issue is the shipping cost would kill me. I could get like 100, 300 by 300 magnetic beds made with my branding laser engraved on it, right? Okay, or whatever, branded for me. And but the cost of shipping will cost me more than buying 100 of those beds.
Yeah.
So it's not feasible right now.
One way you can also design your own PCB for a new 3D printer. Let it be made by PCB Way or some other Chinese manufacturer, and then you have your own PCBs.
Yeah, that's what
For
most of them
example.
do.
Yeah.
They OEM out all of your like Soval printers. You know Soval, right? You have one, don't you? No. Okay, I have the SVO1. Soval printers.
Mhm.
Creality built makes them.
Oh, really?
Creality is their manufacturer. They like Creality OEM for other companies. JG Maker OEM for other companies. You know, like your Artist D. They not only make their own product, they make product for 8 or 10 or 15 other manufacturers out there. They actually do all the manufacturing, and it's just branded under that other company's name when it's shipped.
Yeah.
That's how it is. That's how most businesses work. The OEM work out there. It's standard.
Hmm.
They do a lot of parts for other companies. I agree. Um, there's lots of companies out there who do that. That's so if they become big enough to have their own manufacturing, smaller
Yeah.
companies come to them and say, "Can you make this for us?" And they pay Creality to do the manufacturing, and all that. The only difference is the label that goes on the box and the front, whatever stuck on the whatever branding is on the product
Yeah.
is different. That's why you see so many similarities between manufacturers. Like Uniformation, you know that company? They're a new company, Uniformation.
No?
They're a resin manufacturer, resin printer manufacturer.
Mhm.
Their GK1 is almost the same as as almost like for like of some of the WeBox machines. I'm sure WeBox is a manufacturer. I know WeBox is a manufacturer, so they probably make it for them and branded as Uniformation.
No.
That's normal.
Oh,
Yeah, that's common. Proofs make their own stuff, but I'm sure they assemble their own stuff. A lot of stuff that they do is actually made by somebody for them, and like all extrusion and all this kind of stuff. It's all they don't. It's all delivered to them. They assemble it and then they 3D print the plastic parts themselves that they add
yeah.
to their printers. That's just common. I don't know a list of the other companies that Creality make for. I know they do Soval. Actually, do you know that CNC you got? When the very first versions of those came out, the beta versions that were sent to a few people to be tested, yeah,
Mhm.
inside them, the Gerbil board that was in there, the controller board, was actually a Soval branded controller board was in some of them.
Hmm.
And Soval is made by Creality. So that is a lot of the components, or a lot of it is actually done by Creality. Now everything's branded Congro, but it was
Mhm.
actually Congro probably used Creality to make them for them.
Yeah.
Longers, yeah, I think they are the same. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know who makes the longer machines, but I think they are OEM'd. Yeah, that could be JG Maker because JG Maker
Oh,
they,
Flash Force and Aguila.
yeah. But like when Creality started, the 4 top execs of Creality came from JG Maker, and when they started Creality, the printers they were making, JG Maker was making the Creality machines for Creality when they started out. Now they've gotten so big they have their own production, but before that, JG Maker was actually doing it, and their senior management were all JG Maker staff, ex JG Maker staff that started Creality. It was JG Aurora back then, is what they were called.
Yeah. That was JG Maker because the 2 year, I think 2 years ago was JG Aura,
Well,
right?
they changed the name because people had issues enunciating the name Aurora, like the Northern Lights, right? Apparently, people had struggled to enunciate the name, so they changed it to JG Maker, and then after that, then they started doing the RSD and the JG Maker Magic and stuff like that. Some of their sites are still mixed branding; they haven't got through all of them, but it's been redone over time.
By the way, from the JG Maker,
Yeah,
I took away the plastic from over the LCD screen.
you took the name off it.
No, I just took a sharp knife and I went over it to cut out the plastic that was above the screen. It was so annoying. Every
Oh,
single
because it
time,
moves. Yeah.
yeah, you want to press it, but every time you hear this click sound, because the plastic behind it was a little bit sticky.
Yeah, but you got the Pro. I don't.
Yeah,
I got the original standard, so I have the full Marlin menu, the turn dial menu. But I'm running on the community firmware on mine. But the nice thing about it is they open sourced it from day one. Even before they released the printer, the source code was out there. They made it
yeah.
available from day one, so people started working on it straight away.
Hmm.
There
I
are
know.
some. I
I
know the guy who writes the community, the guy who runs, who's one of the leads writing the community firmware. So there is a community firmware version out there for the Pro as well. They've turned on some other features in there in the Pro.
Hmm. Nice.
You should look at using that instead. Get the community firmware and update it because they have enhanced some stuff.
Yeah, maybe I can do that next week during a live stream.
Yeah, they've on the standard version, which is the Marlin menu, there's an option in there that when you're running a print with multiple parts, when if let's say a part is failing and you want to skip it, when it's over there printing, you can go into the menu and say cancel item, and it will actually skip that item and won't print there anymore.
Hmm.
So it'll print or it'll print everything else, but when it comes to print that, it'll move to the spot like you can do in Octoprint. You can say cancel item in Octoprint. You can actually do that now in Marlin on the JG Maker menu in the standard version.
Hmm.
You're
But
falling
that,
asleep, man.
but that, yeah, I'm going to end the live stream pretty soon. But I had it on the Anycubic Viper because I was printing, I think last week, three or four monster meshers from Fixum Dude, and one was failing, and no matter what I tried, everything else was failing as well. It was terrible. It's yeah.
Because if one comes off the bed and fails and moves, now it's going to interfere with everything. Yeah, but
Yeah, but
the
everything that is purged out of the nozzle will be translated to the other one. So yeah, eventually everything fails.
that's why the cancel item is a nice option. Now, if you use Octoprint with the cancel item plugin, if something's starting to fail, you can see it's starting to fail. You can select it and say skip item, and it will actually the head will move there to print it, but then it won't print. It'll just move off and go on to the next item. Is what it does. It jumps ahead. So you'd
But
have that in Octoprint, but as I
but
said,
that is
the
cool.
RST has it built in.
But that is cool if you not only by this one, but if it is added with multiple 3D printers.
It can be done. It's in Marlin. The functionality is in Marlin. You just need to activate it and compile the firmware. That functionality is there. Or the the failover option is great on IDEX machines. You print with extruder 1 and you get a filament run out, it parks, extruder 2 comes out and continues the print.
Yeah, that is also what JLabel G1 has.
Which one? Oh, yeah, they have it. The RSD has it if you update to the community firmware. There's a new one coming out from MakerPie called a P3 Pro that will have it. That's an IDEX machine that's coming out probably early next year. There's a you can turn it on if you compile your own firmware. If you have an IDEX machine, you know how to do Marlin. You can activate it. It's not a difficult one to turn on. It basically
no.
uses filament run out, and it calls for a tool change. Is what it does. That's exactly what it's doing. It's doing filament run out sensor is activated, and the filament run out procedure calls for a tool change to resume. So if you enable that option when you're in a print job, it'll do it.
But maybe you can also actually do that in Cura as well.
No, because Cura doesn't know what to do. Cura doesn't get the trigger of the filament run out. The printer gets it. So Octoprint, I don't even know if Octoprint can do it, but Marlin itself can, because it's like when the filament run out is triggered, the filament run out is triggered to the board in the firmware, right, as a software signal, right, and then that initializes the tool change functionality to go and use the other tool to warm it up and and resume print. Whereas anything that's off the board, unless it's getting two-way communication, real-time communication, it won't know what's happening. And so you can't do it in Cura, I don't believe. Not that I know of, anyway. But the other thing, this other machine, the P3 Pro, when it comes out, has got closed-loop stepper motors. Have you ever used those?
No, not yet.
So a closed-loop stepper, as it moves, it writes back to say, this is where I am, right? So during a print, it's writing back to the system to say, to the SD card, and through the main board to tell it an instruction about where it is right now. So during a print, if a print is happening, and if it's and something, and you catch the print head, let's say a child walks into a room or whatever, grabs the print head and pulls it all the way across, right? Your print has failed normally. But a closed loop stepper, it says, oh, I know where I was. I shouldn't be over here. So it homes on X and Y and it goes back to where it was and then resumes printing again. Because it knew where it was, because it kept there's a two-way communication to the main board.
That that is why sometimes by some printers that has a what's it called filament run out sensor, you change the filament. You can do that in the menu. You can exchange filaments.
Yeah.
And then you press the button, and then with the artillery sidewinder, at that 2 or 3 times when I was changing filaments, just this gap and nothing happened, and failed print.
Actually, that does not happen on your Focus. Filament run out works like a charm on the Focus printer. It'll park, you do a filament load, and you do resume, and it nails it every time. Now, closed loop steppers are more for impacting something right on the part, but the filament run out is being triggered and working properly. That's firmer, but on the Focus it works great because the board they're using is a really good board. They're using the Robin Pro Mini board, and the Artist D is using the Robin Pro in the Artist D. So they have the same boards in them, the same control boards, similar, almost the same control boards.
But the X2 has a new board, as from Artillery, their own design board.
I have no artillery products. I have no artillery products. They've never worked with me. I don't know why, but they've decided, like I've done stuff with Creality, but artillery won't work with me. So for some reason,
the fun thing is, they contacted me, I think a few months ago, and I never had any machine of them, and so we were talking, and eventually they said that if I want to do reviews for them, I have to buy a machine first. And actually, I wanted to do that, and then I got my money refunded, so I bought something else. And every single time, or sometimes, I was just poking at them, like, yeah, I wanted to do a review, but yeah, they don't want to have my money. And so eventually, somebody from Artillery said, "Do you want the X2?"
I'd like to try the Super Racer from FL Sun. I don't have any Delta printers. It would have been my first Delta. They don't want to work with me either for some reason, but I'd like to do the FL Sun SR. It's a high-speed Delta printer. I would love to try it because I've never used. I don't have any Delta printers. I have a lot of Cartesian. I have a lot. I have 6 resin printers. Is it 6? Yeah, 6 resin printers. I have another one coming. But I would love to try a Delta machine, and for some reason, I've never had luck with anybody who has got large deltas, who are willing to work with me. And the FL Sun looks like a really nice machine. But do you have the FL Sun?
Yeah, I have the QQS Pro.
The Q5.
Sorry,
is it the Q5 you have, or
no? This is the QQS Pro.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, at this moment, the glass pad has adhesion problems. I still need to figure out how to get it sticky again, because from all
glue stick or hairspray.
I tried, also not work.
Really? If it's not sticking at that, it's your Z offset is probably what's off, because if it won't stick to glue stick, there's something else wrong. It's something with the distance to the bed. I'm sure, because
I've tried it as well.
Wow, that's weird. I have printers that over time the bed loses adhesion over time, and
But
I,
these have those glued in place glass beds.
I know, yeah, that's
So
why I'm saying the glue stick after that normally fixes that when you wear out a bed, because they do wear out over time,
oh
and
yeah,
and let's just use glue stick on it. Or you know what you could do to fix it? Get a magnetic steel plate to go on top of that sticks on top of it,
yeah.
and then just adjust the offset, and then you can just print on that, and then you can pop it off.
Mhm.
That's probably what I do if in that case, and you just stick it to the one you already have. You
Yeah,
lose 4 millimeters of Z height, but like it's
yeah.
4 millimeters.
I was thinking about it to do actually that, but there are several other little errands that I still need to do.
Hey,
I,
since you
it's,
talk with Wham Bam, talk with them. They might have a bill plate for you.
I had the choice to choose or for the Ender 6 or for the FL7, and I choose for the Ender 6 because it is still a very popular machine, and so I choose for that.
Yeah.
There's I want to because I put also a E3D Titan extruder on it. I still didn't manage to get a lot of prints out of it because of the adhesion problem. But yeah,
Well,
every single time some thing comes in between.
if PEI, old curmudgeon, if PEI doesn't stick, you can change your PEI. What you have to do is you have to put the bed that has a PEI sheet on it in your freezer and freeze the PEI. And then it comes off easier when it's frozen off your metal sheet. And then what you do is you can buy PEI and actually stick a new, clean it down with acetone and whatever else you need to do, get it clean. And then you can reapply new PEI sheets. You can buy this PEI only and stick it back on the bed. But yeah, you just freeze it and and you can and that make if you try to remove PEI when it's not frozen, it's really really hard. But if you freeze it, it comes off really easy. Or if PEI loses adhesion, get a fine sandpaper. Let's say 500 grit or maybe a 3 or 400 grit, and
Mhm.
lightly sand it. And now you got bed adhesion again on a PEI. You do need to sand it sometimes if it starts losing adhesion, or
Yeah.
switch it out.
Uh, with bed flat, your Z is set right. It all sticks great. Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes material gets slick over time, over use, And cleaning it with isopropyl alcohol is you should do because your fingers are greasy, and that destroys bed adhesion.
Yeah.
I take that was not to any of us, right? That was your wife, okay? Otherwise, we'd be
Yeah.
really worried about you.
To all of you guys, because you're so amazing. No, but
That's funny.
no, I love the community. It's
I
really
know.
nice.
Yeah, but light sandpaper, fine sandpaper for PEI, and then after that, if all else fails, just freeze it off. Stick the bed in the freezer for a couple of hours, freeze it off, and then take it off the bed and then clean out the glue with acetone.
Mm,
Steel wool, yep, that works. That
yeah,
roughens the surface, perfect.
I've also heard that quite a lot.
Yeah, grade 000 steel wool. Yeah, triple O for the grade really fine steel wool. Just give it
Ah,
a rub down, and that actually does it.
hmm.
The steel wool is graded by a number of zeros. So 000 is a really fine steel wool, and you run it down and you wash it and you brush it down many times and vacuum it and clean it about 8 or 10 times first, and then you can start using it again to get all the metal fragments off.
Nice. Hmm.
A dish scrubber, yeah, that works.
Oh yeah, actually, I did that with the Anycubic Viper. Was not sticking on both sides, so took it downstairs. I cleaned it with dish soap. Took all of the things off that was still there.
Yeah, I use a lot of PETG, so I use glue stick a lot because you need a release agent for PETG. It likes to stick to stuff.
Dressing your house line.
The best way to remove the crappy Creality bed magnet, acetone. Take the bed off, peel it off with a scraper, so scratch it off with a scraper, and then clean it with acetone because the only way you're going to dissolve that glue is acetone. Damp cloth with acetone, outdoors, and clean it multiple times, and then when that's finished, clean and it's dry, re-clean it 3 or 4 times with IPA before you apply the new bed, the new magnetic bed.
Yeah.
Acetone will dissolve that glue. Nothing else will do it.
And back then, which friend was it?
That's interesting. Never thought about using talc.
Hmm?
Jeremy says he uses talc for PETG. I don't. Talc could cause bed adhesion issues. You don't want it. You want it to adhere to the bed, but you don't want it to stick so tight that it won't come off. So by putting in a glue stick or hairspray, acts as a release, as a barrier, especially on a glass bed, as a barrier. Because if PETG bonds to a glass bed and you take the part off, you're pulling up chunks of glass as well. So you need a release agent in there so it comes off. And I've never heard of talc ever, or for PET or TPU.
Hey,
Glue
but
stick works great.
if he uses it and it works, then
I'd
it's
like to
great.
try it because to me, a talcum powder, would prevent adhesion at all because it's really slick. So I've never tried that. That's a new one on me.
Yeah. But yeah, we all know from Joel with his $38,000 printer and PETG print on glass.
Yeah, that glue stick is required. That was funny. That was like he knew he was doing PETG. Come on, guys, right? Come on, really? He knows better. Well, he should know better. He's been in the game long enough. What I do, but I use if I put glue stick on a bed, I will not have to put glue stick back on that bed for about 10 prints or more. Because what I do is I put glue stick on the bed, and then I print on it, and I like to re-soften the PVA glue before the next print a little bit. So I put a few drops of water or a spray bottle, spray a little bit of water on it, spread it around, and just leave it there, and then heat the bed, and it dries it, and it's like fresh glue stick again. And you just repeat that until you get to the point where you think it's getting too thin. Then you clean the bed off and then start again with a new layer. That's what I do.
What I always do, I have this hairspray that works pretty well. Ultra strong, it says. So every time, not every time, but every 10, 15, 20 prints, I heat up the bed. I go over it a thin layer, let it bake in, and then start the print. And it works great.
I don't like hairspray because of it's a spray.
Yeah.
And it get into your electronics if you spray it near your printer or anything like that. The glue stick I can control 100%. I can put it on and I know where it is. If I want to refresh it, I put a few drops of water in there and spread it around. It will absorb it and soften it all over again. I know, like if I was going to use hairspray, I'd spray it outdoors and then bring it in and put it on the bed is what I would do. Because I just don't like the idea of the aerosols anywhere near my printers. That just makes me squirm a little bit.
Oh, I never had any problems with it. I always make sure to have the carriage high enough, or at least the bed far enough away from other things.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm just saying, to me, when you spray something, it's coming out at a high speed, and it's not going to hit one spot. It's going to go out like this, and
Yeah,
it's going
yeah,
to bounce off the bed and river, and it's going to spread it around in a room. So I don't like the idea because eventually it will. Propellant does go boom as well with enough heat. Yes, it could when if you're spraying on something hot. Yeah,
yeah.
I doubt it's going to happen with a printer with an open flame for sure. But it's just that's what and you're saying about another reason why not to use glass. I like printing on glass. I like printing on glass for a simple reason. If you want a perfectly smooth first layer finish with it, and when your print comes off, it's shiny and sheeny. You can't beat glass. You
Yeah.
cannot get better sheen and a better smooth first layer again on a finished product than you can with glass. I
That's
have a
right.
mixture of stuff, but I really like glass printing on glass.
Hmm. So I am going to end the live stream.
Thank you for having me on. It's fun. I like
Yes.
being on live streams.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too. Every day.
You should join. You should join Jerry's one tomorrow.
No,
Jerry's live
I,
streaming. It's
I, I really want to do that, but at this moment, I have this appointment with my wife every Saturday evenings.
date
To
night. Okay,
yeah.
good. Well, so Jerry is on tomorrow. Um, and I did not watch Joe's recent video. No, I haven't watched it yet. I need to catch up with some of Joe's ones. I'm a bit. There's so many streamers out there you want to watch. It's hard to keep up. But I like he's always funny in his streams. You know. So I like watching Joe's stuff as well.
Yeah, yeah, indeed. He's. I'm going to maybe I'm going to see him in 2 weeks.
Is he coming over, or are you going over here?
No, 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 no. If I'm going to the US, one of the things that I definitely want to visit is SpaceX,
So okay, which one? Where in California or Texas?
Texas.
In Boca Chica. Okay,
Yeah.
out by Lab Padre Island.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and yeah. I haven't been down to that to Starship to Starbase yet. Um, I've seen their launch. I've seen them launch from Kennedy. I've seen a couple of launches actually from Kennedy. A friend of mine is actually in Florida right now because the crew is launching tomorrow,
Oh,
and he's a launch photographer. So he goes out there and sets up cameras around the rocket, and then when they launch, they capture the photographs as the rocket launches, and so he actually does that. It's kind of cool. They're sound activated. They have microphone systems built onto the cameras. A unit that is microphone controlled, and as long as they hear the roar of the engine, they start taking photographs, and they don't stop until the roar of the engine is gone. So he goes out there and he sets up, like they get bussed out by the rocket. They set up around with a launch pad, set up cameras around there. They cover them for the weather and protect them. And then after the launch is over, they go back out and they collect their equipment. So he's
cool.
down there right now. He's probably already deployed his cameras for tomorrow's launch.
Nice.
Check him out. He's John Jack McGill. I'll send you a link later on, but you'll see some really cool images he's done.
Nice. No, but I'm going to Forum next in 2 weeks. It's
Okay,
from the 16th till the 19th of November. So I got one free press card, one card from company, and one I bought myself.
nice. Um, the crew are launching. It's a SpaceX Crew that Dragon number 3 is launching.
Crew
It was
3.
supposed to go off on Wednesday, but they moved it Wednesday or Thursday. But they moved. Yeah, Wednesday it was, and they moved it to Saturday.
Uh,
So there's a crew launch happening, the Crew Dragon tomorrow. I have to double check what time it is, but it's unless they've moved it again. Let me quickly check. We have apps for that.
Hell yeah.
Next space slide. I'll just tell you what it's scheduled for right now. Just let me wait for this to do an update.
Next space flight, is that not from NSF?
Sorry?
Next
Yeah,
space flight.
yeah.
That's from
No,
NSF, right?
that's not NSF. No,
No?
that's different guys. So the crew undocking is also happening on Sunday. So the existing crew that's up there are coming back Sunday.
Oh,
Oh,
is
did
that
they move? Did they move the launch again? They might have moved the launch because. Oh, sorry, I was in the news section. 1 second. China are launching to 11 o'clock tonight. Crew is coming back Sunday, so it looks like they moved the launch again.
Yeah, would be weird to have one crew going up and at the same weekend it's coming down.
No, they've done that before.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, they've done it like the one crew would go up, and within a few days, the other crew comes back. Unless I got the date wrong, I thought they were launching. Or they've moved it again. They've moved it to November 10th. They've moved it again. Crew 3 are going up on Wednesday. They moved it again. It was supposed to be Saturday. They just moved it again. So we have the crew coming back Sunday. That's already up there. Crew 2 and Crew 3 are going up on Wednesday at 8 p.m. in the evening. So they did move it.
Okay. So thank you for hanging out, Liam, for this nice live stream.
It's better than having you here talk to yourself all the time.
Sorry.
It's better than you being on here talking away to yourself.
Oh, I don't have any problem with that.
I'm chatty as well, you know. I'm Irish. It's genetic with us. Talking is part of our genetics.
Sometimes when I start my Twitch live stream, I still see 0 viewers, and I'm talking, and in my head I'm like.
But it's nice to have someone come in and chat with you. So it's always good to have people come in and chat.
Yeah, I have in June, when I was first starting with Twitch, I had nobody actually coming to live stream. And
I've done that. I've only done 2 videos on Twitch, and both of them was my laser working, and I was talking about my lasers while it was my laser was doing work, and it was just a video. The camera was on. It wasn't not me. It was only on the laser, and I need to do more on Twitch to get some numbers up, but I do need to do some pickup on that a little bit more. Maybe I'll do a bit of work on it tomorrow. Because I have lots of printers that are almost always doing something. So
we have nothing else to do. No, you don't.
Well, it's a Saturday. It's Saturday morning for him. Remember?
Oh,
yeah.
I also have nothing else to do.
And I'm going to make fun of him, and I've done this before, and he takes it well. But his background, his job is geology, so he's a geologist. And according to Sheldon, if you watch the Big Bang Theory, geology is really not a science. Sheldon says so.
Oh.
Come on, Kieran, where's your comeback? He's going to give a smart answer. We'll just wait for it.
No,
he's going to give me no. He's going to give a smart. He's going to come back with a smart answer. I know he is.
No fighting here, huh?
No. It's all in good fun. He knows I'm only making fun of him. I'm a science nerd, so he knows I'm only making fun of him. If you do the Z1, make sure you copy me on that stream info, or curmudgeon. Or if you want, that'll be fun to do. Or you could do it on Jerry's stream tomorrow evening. Oh, he's staying quiet. He says silence is golden.
Silence.
Curmudgeon said, as long as you if you're talking on stream on your own, it's okay. As long as you don't giving yourself your own answers, that's the problem.
I can do something like that too as well.
Yeah, do post it all, Curmudgeon. I'd like to if you're doing a stream, I'd like to jump on when you're doing it, to watch you do your live build. Live builds are fun.
Oh yeah, sure.
So I won't be doing one tomorrow.
Li-
I was
live,
asked not to.
live painting as well.
Yeah, I was asked not. Yeah, I don't do painting. If it doesn't come out of a spray can, I don't do it. I'm sorry.
Airbrush is also spray.
Yeah, no, I'm not skilled enough to use an airbrush. Like this rocket over here, I airbrushed this big rocket, this one here, just to make it a very thin layer. But that was airbrushed. But to me, that's airbrushing. Spraying the whole thing one color, that's airbrushing.
Pressing in, yeah. I get it. I get it.
Yeah, I don't mean StreamYard. I mean on YouTube.
So I'm going to add the live stream. You can still hang for a little bit. So everybody, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. And hey, keep in mind, let's make awesome things with 3D printing. Zachary, 3D prints. Bye bye.